The Guzmania plant is a true wonder. Native to the rainforests of Central and South America, it brings a touch of the tropics into our homes. Unlike many plants we cultivate, the Guzmania is not grown for its flowers. It is the brightly colored bracts, leaves surrounding the flowers that make it so appealing. These bracts come in an array of vibrant colors. You can find them in shades of red, orange, yellow, and even purple. The actual flowers of the Guzmania are quite small and inconspicuous. They bloom from the center of the plant, often lasting for several weeks. One of the fascinating aspects of the Guzmania is its epiphytic nature. In its natural habitat, it grows on trees, absorbing moisture and nutrients from the air and rain. This unique characteristic makes the Guzmania relatively easy to care for. It doesn't require frequent watering or heavy feeding like some other houseplants. Once you understand its basic needs, caring for a Guzmania can be quite simple. With a little attention and care, you can enjoy the vibrant beauty of this tropical plant in your home for many months to come. The Guzmania plant requires moderate irrigation, meaning the soil should dry out between waterings to allow the roots to breathe and prevent issues such as excessive root development and leaf drop. Therefore, before watering, check the soil with your hand and add water only if necessary. The watering frequency depends on several factors, including ambient temperature, humidity, and the plant's specific needs. Generally, watering Guzmania every 7 to 10 days, or whenever the soil is dry, is suitable. In hot and dry weather, the plant may require more frequent watering. During colder seasons such as winter, watering should be reduced, and the interval between waterings should be increased. At this time, ensure the soil dries out completely before re-watering, but also make sure the plant does not remain dry for too long. For optimal hydration, fill the central part of the plant, shaped like a cup and located at the end of the foliage, with a small amount of water, refreshing it every 3 to 4 weeks to prevent bacterial growth and rot. However, avoid doing this during flowering, as it can shorten the lifespan of Guzmania blooms. In cold weather or low light conditions, use less water in the plant's cup and allow it to dry for 2 to 7 days before refilling with fresh water. Always use light water when watering the plant. Let tap water sit for several hours so that chlorine can settle, or use filtered water for better results. The soil should remain consistently moist but not overly wet. Proper temperature is one of the most important factors in maintaining Guzmania. Although it is relatively adaptable, the plant requires an ideal temperature range to ensure healthy growth and development. Guzmania thrives in moderate to warm temperatures, with an optimal range of 18 to 25 degrees Celsius. During the summer, higher temperatures may increase the plant's need for water. Excessive heat or direct sunlight can cause the leaves to dry out. To prevent this, place the plant in an area with diffused light and increase watering slightly to maintain adequate soil moisture. In the winter, Guzmania requires warmth to prevent damage. It should be kept in an environment with a stable and suitable temperature, avoiding direct exposure to cold drafts or sudden temperature fluctuations. Since Guzmania originates from tropical forests, it thrives in high humidity. However, it can tolerate lower humidity levels found in typical indoor environments. At home, maintain a relative humidity of at least 50%. If the air is too dry, you can increase humidity by using a humidifier, misting water around the plant, or placing a tray of water nearby. Low humidity can cause the leaf tips to turn brown, while excessive humidity can lead to diseases and leaf loss. Because Guzmania absorbs moisture through its leaves, it is beneficial to mist them daily. To improve humidity levels, choose a pot slightly larger than the plant's container and fill it with gravel. Then add water to the larger pot so that the smaller pot rests above it without direct contact with the water. This setup helps maintain moisture while preventing root rot. One of the most important aspects of caring for Guzmania is ensuring the plant receives the right amount of light. Guzmania prefers indirect light and should be kept away from direct sunlight, as excessive exposure can cause its leaves to dry out and burn. Due to the structure of its leaves, Guzmania cannot tolerate direct sunlight. Therefore, it is best to place the plant in an area where sunlight does not shine directly on it. keeping the plant near north or east-facing windows is a suitable option. Since light is crucial for the proper growth of Guzmania, insufficient light can hinder its development, causing the leaves to turn yellow and pale. If the natural light in the plant's location is inadequate, artificial light sources such as fluorescent lamps or white light bulbs should be used to compensate. Guzmania absorbs nutrients from its fallen leaves, which dry out and decompose into the soil. The roots of this plant naturally grow on trees, rocks, and even water, so it is best to apply fertilizer directly onto its foliage and the soil surface. While Guzmania plants are not heavy feeders, they still require some nutrients to thrive. However, their feeding habits differ slightly from traditional houseplants. Remember, Guzmania are epiphytes, meaning they naturally grow on trees and obtain nutrients from the air and rain. Unlike many houseplants that require regular repotting, Guzmania plants are relatively low maintenance in this regard. They have relatively small root systems and prefer to be slightly pot-bound. In fact, repotting is usually unnecessary unless the plant has outgrown its current pot or the potting mix has become compacted and no longer drains well. If you do need to repot your Guzmania, choose a pot that's only slightly larger than the current one. A pot that's too large can lead to overwatering and root rot. The best time to repot is in the spring or early summer when the plant is actively growing. Gently remove the plant from its old pot, taking care not to damage the roots. Use a fresh batch of well-draining potting mix and plant the Guzmania at the same depth it was previously growing. After repotting, water thoroughly and allow the excess water to drain completely. Remember, repotting can be stressful for any plant. Guzmania can be easily propagated using suckers. When the suckers reach a height of 7.5 centimeters, they should be separated from the mother plant and planted independently in a separate pot. For successful propagation, maintain high humidity around the suckers during the first month to help them acclimate to their new environment. Flowers produced from suckers typically last between 3 and 5 years. Here are several challenges that may arise when growing Guzmania. Sometimes the leaves turn brown due to a lack of water. When this happens, the plant should be watered immediately. Spraying with untreated water can cause white spots on the leaves. To prevent this issue, use filtered water. The presence of spider webs under the leaves indicates a mite infestation. Mites are among the most harmful pests for this plant. When they appear, clean the leaves with a sponge soaked in an insecticide solution. Spraying can also help reduce the pest population. Sometimes parts of the plant turn black due to cold weather or excessive watering. In such cases, move the plant to a warmer location and ensure proper drainage in the pot.